What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stony James podcast. Thank you for kicking it on Stony Island once again. This is the hot and bothered edition of the podcast because this is day 4 with no power. Shout out to DTE for dragging their feet on providing the good citizens of Detroit, Michigan with the worst possible service you could dream of. I really can't believe this. Like the little storm we had knocked out the power for days. Now we got people like it ain't no telling how many people lost their groceries. They got to go back and restock the refrigerators. We're not getting no discounts. They're not talking to us about no kind of reimbursement. And this is happening way too often in the city. Like this is an embarrassment. They should be ashamed, but they not. You know why? Because they get to go out here and make money. Damn Detroit. Like I don't even know what else to say. Like we really gonna keep going through this because we got an infrastructure issue, and they don't want to take the time to redo it. Um, I don't know, man. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, man. While I got you here, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. I mean, we taking this serious, man. So you might as well jump on the train because it's taking off. Seriously, it's taking off. Shout out to everybody that's out there sharing. Shout out to everybody that's engaging and just showing the channel some support. I appreciate every last one of y'all. I guess once you start to take things seriously, then other people do too, because I'm noticing a huge difference in the response in the last couple of weeks. Um, so then I got to go ahead and shout out myself for that. You know what I'm saying? For putting a hard hat on and going to work, because that was necessary. Today, it's all about AI. And now I'm not talking about my favorite basketball player. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. Because it's here. I know it's the time we was talking about this. Um, I don't know how much, well, some of the experts out there had, certain little warnings, things they might have been a little worried about as we embarked on the AI journey and making artificial intelligence our friends. Did I say that right? Artificial intelligence? Yeah, we getting a lot more comfortable with it. I gotta say, shoot, I work with it. I got robots all over the place I work with. I won't say where I work, but it's robots everywhere. Like, I've been forced to get comfortable with it. But, for all of the benefits and everything that, all the different uses that they're trying to figure out for it, it's a downside to it. And that's replacing us. So, with all the weird science going on from artificial intelligence to cloning, that's another thing. Them figuring out how to basically download our essence and transfer it into other bodies, or whatever they're trying to do with that, man. It's it's science playing God, and I guess we got to wonder when is it going too far, but I think we already reached that point, and um now it's just about like how much worse can it get? Because I mean, I'm sure you got the eternal optimist that only think about the benefits of artificial intelligence and all the things they can help us out with, all of the different ways that they can make our lives easier. But we gotta at least pay attention to the downside. And that made me think about a lot of the movies that I was watching growing up. Um, man, Minority Report, I Robot, um, and more of the end times. Um, it's like once we get to this point, then it's like the end of the world. And of course, we got to think about this being the end of the world because once we get replaced, what's next? It's extinction. We no more use to the world once the robots figure out how to replace us. and we helping them doing that. I I don't get it, man. I don't understand what's the rush to our destruction. Like why we try so hard to destroy ourselves. But it's here. Like I said, man, it was a time where we could speculate on a whole lot of stuff. We could wonder about where it was headed, where is it going. It's here now. So, I guess my first question is: are you worried? Are you scared? Do you even care? Whether you do or not, I'm gonna say it again. Artificial intelligence is here, and I hear people asking questions about um, when will they get smart enough to take over, and will we get to the point where they want to destroy humans? I mean, I don't see why not. If you know anything about predictive programming, they've been showing this to us for a long time. I think predictive programming is, uh, I don't know, it's a slick phrase. I'll probably try to think of another way to put it, but basically, what predictive programming is just them programming things into the media, especially movies and television, and it comes to pass. You know, we've watched a certain thing, and then years down the line, it materializes. It becomes a real thing. So it makes you wonder what's going on behind the scenes. What kind of intel do they have to be making all of these things, and then we see them later down the line. But I mean, I already know, like, as far as technology goes, whatever we're introduced to, they already had it years before. You know, by the time they introduce it to us, you know, they are already getting comfortable with something else. Um, so you know, I really don't want to go in on the government. You know, that's yeah, that's not really gonna go the way I want it to. But I will say that there's no conspiracy. There's no conspiracy theory. And that's why I continue to say it's here. Whatever you want to think, whatever you want to say about this, however you feel, um, it's a real thing now. So I don't know how comfortable you want to get with it, or if we should be coming up with a plan to try to destroy it. Eagle Eye just came to my mind. The way that program was kind of spying on everybody, which we make all of this even easier because it's ring lights, it's ring cameras everywhere. Not ring lights, it's the ring cameras everywhere. Everywhere. On top of the already having surveillance everywhere, we just adding to it. It's nonstop surveillance. It's a whole bunch of different databases that can be tapped into at one time. We have no more privacy. There's nowhere to go. Because I mean, I could probably find you without even the government technology. If I was slick enough with a computer, I could figure out where you are with not a whole lot of time and very little information. Because we always under surveillance now, and we just went ahead and accepted it. Why we so paranoid about security that we need? Man, it's a house around me. It got to be at least 8 cameras around that house, and I know it's not a drug dealer. So, like, you really think you got something that valuable going on at the house that you need 8 cameras? And I mean at least 8 cameras. That's just visible, so it's got to be more. I guarantee you, it's some on the inside too. Like, this is crazy, but I go back to the end times because when I was younger, I used to hear, especially in church, I used to hear a lot of people talk about we living in the last days. And man, I never felt that as strong as I do now. Because again, like we it seems like we're on the brink of extinction. Like humans are almost served their purpose, and we're gonna get rid of ourselves. We're gonna usher in the change. Like we did our job, and we're gonna pass it off to some automation. Like this is it's something else, man. Um, what movie was I just watching? The Justin Timberlake movie. In Time. It's another one. Like all of this stuff is about artificial intelligence. It's about data, the data, and how they use that to their advantage. How the computers are controlling things. So if you ever seen that movie, I mean, it's even deeper with that, where time is currency. Everybody is chipped. There's some kind of like electronic thing going on their arms, and they basically live by time. That's the currency. When your time runs out, you drop dead. Right there, you're gone. So that's about the wealthy versus the poor. It's a um, separation of powers, separation of class. It's not even about race, which I mean, if you are a little educated, you know that race means a lot less than it used to because it's all about classes now. Like I've heard classism is the new racism. All of this stuff has been programmed, and so man, with that being the case, then we already have a little bit of a blueprint to see. It might not be exactly the way they put it to us, but we got a couple of different ideas of which way this can go. And then, I guess for the people that make it through the worst of it, and then you got the Book of Eli, where the world is destroyed. How about Wally? Wally is another good one. Um, people just got big and fat and completely reliant on um they got completely reliant on the computers to run their lives, from the food they ate to the programming they watched. All of that was done. They just sat on their big fat asses, like useless eaters. That's really where we becoming, man. Um, I don't want to call this the doomsday episode, but like the more I think about it and the more examples I can think of, it's like we already saw this coming. But did you really think it would happen this fast? I don't even know about the future of my children. What do they have to look forward to? We're becoming less and less necessary, at least in terms of how society is run. And either all of this stuff reaches a crescendo and it all blows up and we have to start over, which, that would kind of be my best case scenario. Because the worst case is the AI gets smart enough to get rid of us. And then there's a real extermination going. Um, and that's just so crazy to think about. But how many times have we seen that happen? Like, they get us prepared for so many other things. I'm already like mentally prepping for that. So in my mind, uh, I'm just learning to appreciate the time I have with my people, with my family, my friends, the people closest to me, because I don't know what's gonna happen, but it seemed like it's doing nothing but getting worse. So it's gonna get worse before it gets better. I don't know what the better is because it just continues to get worse. And I don't know. That's throwing me for a loop right now. Like I've been into all kind of studies. It's not a surprise to me. I know about transhumanism and the fusion of humans and robots and all of these different things that they've been working on behind the scenes, but they just can't help but tell us about through the programming, through different entertainers and the expressions they use. They use artistry to express these things, so they just can't keep it a secret. But Um, some of that stuff I wish they would just keep it a secret. Just keep it on lock, like they do with the aliens. you know, just keep that to yourself, man. Now I'm really starting to understand ignorance is bliss as I get older, because that was just a saying to me before. But and all of the different things that I was researching and discovering and trying to share with people, I understood why I got such pushback, because people don't want to know about this stuff. It's a lot easier to live a happy and blissful life when you don't know what's around the corner. All the dangers that you could run into, it's a lot better if you just don't know about it. Just let me enjoy my whatever I got going on right here. It's not important. It means nothing, but I'm happy in this space right here. So don't mess that up for me. And I get it, y'all. I understand. I totally get it now. Um, I'm not gonna stop, but I understand. Cause man, this is life. I didn't really want to think it would be, but it is. and again, another show just popped up, and that's Westworld. Where else have I seen it? I think Black Lightning. They had the clones, and then all of a sudden, the Jamie Foxx movie, they cloned Tyrone. Still haven't seen it, but just from the title, it's like, okay, this is about some clones. Okay, but y'all call people crazy when they was talking about clones. Y'all call people insane, conspiracy theorists, right? What you gonna say now? Cause they telling you, they're putting it in your face, and now you don't have a choice but to deal with it. But congratulations on being the smartest person in the room. I don't even have a conclusion for this one. That's just yeah, that's just where I'm at. It's hot. It's very uncomfortable. I'm hungry, and I can't believe that this week, like man, the air went out. We got that fixed, and then a day later, all of the power is out. So it's been a pretty hot week. It's been nice and uncomfortable. We're doing what we can to survive around here. And the crazy part is, like this block on this side and the other side, all the way down to the end of the block, no power. Everybody around us has power. If I look across the street at my neighbors, I see lights. They have power. And we don't. So I don't know where we fall on the grid or how that's even possible. But it is what it is, man. It's not like I never had power before, but like in 2023 for the system to be this finicky, that's like slap yourself, Detroit. Seriously, whoever is running this system, like you got to know what a joke this is. Like just look at the Facebook comments. Like you are a whole joke, and I cannot believe that this is real life. Now I'm a survivor. It's not like I'm dying. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. It's the other downside of depending on electronics is, they can fail. And then when that happens, what then? When the electronics fail, then you got to go back to the analog way of living. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a lesson in there somewhere. But I don't know, man. I'm not feeling too hopeful about this one. Because the more I think about it, like, I'm not. I'm not a panicking type of person. It's just it is what it is to me. But for this to be what it is, damn. I guess that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today. I love you, and I'm out.